Hi there. So I am gonna make some small batch fire cider today. And the reason that I'm doing that is because Miss Clara has a little bit of a stuffy nose. And so whenever we are feeling run down or have been around a lot of people who may be carrying this or that, I tend to make a batch of this. And there are people who make this in large batches, but I usually mix up enough for us to have some and then also to keep in a quart jar in the fridge for like 2 days. And then we just drink off of it and kind of gives our bodies an infusion of this and that. So I'll walk you through what I put in it, and then you'll kind of see how it gets put together. So what I'm doing right now to start with is I'm peeling a fresh turmeric root. You can get this at grocery stores. We get ours at Safeway, which is, you know, the big chain grocery store in our area. But it's fairly common nowadays. And I say that because if you can get it here, you can probably get it just about anywhere. But anyway, it's a kind of a small to a medium-sized root, and it's bright orange. So by the time you're done with this process, your fingers will also be bright orange. But that's okay, it's all part of the process. So I am taking the last little bit of skin off of it. This is what one looks like before, and this is after. Looks a little bit like a carrot. Now, you like carrots, huh? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grate it, and I'm just grating it with the kind of fine mesh side of my grater onto my cutting board, and then I am going to put that into my fine mesh sieve, which I'll show you in a minute. Doesn't really take much to grate it up. It's not all that hard.
Bless me.
Bless you. Yeah, see, I think it's a good thing that we're doing this. Now, you know, of course, there's mixed feelings on stuff like this and whether it actually does anything. I actually am kind of a believer that the psychology of this might be valuable as well, in as much as even if it doesn't physically do much, you're taking steps. And I think sometimes our bodies appreciate that and respond. You are such a goofball. So I make mine pretty concentrated, which is why I'm peeling that second turmeric root right now. I put quite a bit in it. Like I said, this will make about 1.5 quarts worth of tea or fire cider. We call it tea around here, but a lot of people call it fire cider. Okay, so here's my second turmeric root.
Can I grate it?
Yep, I'm gonna grate it up.
And I'll run you through the 2 other ingredients real quick, but we're also gonna use the not too much flavor ginger ale. You can find it in small cans, and it's green. It also says fever tree.
Yes.
So there's 1 frozen lemon and ginger in this.
Yep.
Ginger ale comes last, I think.
Yeah, and you know what I forgot, Clara, is the garlic. Can you get me the bulb of garlic from under there?
And we also do garlic.
So what Clara was just running you through is the next ingredients, right? So I usually start my lemon now, and Clara mentioned this, but it is frozen, and it's only frozen because I find that that's one of the best ways to keep lemons long term. I just stick them whole in the freezer. They keep really well, and I just grate up the entire thing, honestly. Like, I don't worry about peel versus juice versus whatever. I just throw the whole thing on the grater, and away we go. And then the other benefit of this being frozen is that it's less likely to make a giant juicy mess because it's frozen.
I think you might want to clean it.
No, it's all going in the same spot. You will work up a sweat grating the frozen lemon.
You also need one of these things to like drain the hot water.
Yes, I'll get there. I'll get there, honey. So I actually will do this kind of in batches just to preserve my energy, if you will. So I'll keep going for just a minute and then we'll move on to our next ingredients. Also, while we're talking about, you know, peeling stuff, I'm about to peel the fresh ginger as well. But when you peel the stuff, you don't have to get each and every little bit of peel off. It's fine. Remember, it's tea. It's not like you're eating it. And actually, a lot of nutrition is found in peels in general. So you may not want to go crazy on the peel, but you don't want the dirt and stuff that's in there. Okay, so I'm putting the ingredients as we prepare them into this fine mesh strainer that I have.
And it goes in this bowl.
And then I use a flat bottom large bowl that I can sit it right down in there, because then I can add more hot water on top, right?
Yeah.
And so because we're making tea, that's kind of important.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've done a little less than half the lemon. I got the lemon out a few minutes ago, and that helps it. If you just try to take the lemon straight from the freezer and grate it,
the grater is not supposed to fall. Like it just did. That's an accident.
That's okay. That happens in the kitchen. But anyway, if you try to take this straight from the freezer and grate it, it's going to require that much more elbow grease. So it's okay to let it sit and defrost for just a few minutes. Okay, I'm going to go with a couple more swipes of the grater on the lemon. We're moving on to the ginger. I am a huge fan of fresh ginger. What do you mean?
Like, it's too spicy for me. Ginger is pretty hot, even if it's not oven hot. It's just really spicy for me. I prefer like one piece of it with a lot of ginger ale, as I told you.
Yeah, we'll get to the ginger ale in a minute. If you have kiddos like I do, that you're trying to entice to drink this stuff, because it is a little bit spicy, we put it in with just a little bit of ginger ale at the end.
My tummy is actually sometimes hurts. That's ginger ale really helps with hurting tummies. That's one of the reasons we put it in with the tea.
It is, but ginger ale also is quite sweet because it's a soda.
Yes.
So a spoonful of sugar, as they say, helps the medicine go down. Okay, so same principle when I'm peeling the ginger. You don't really have to get crazy with taking the peel off, because again, you're not eating this wholesale, you're just making a tea. But if you can get most of the peel off, you'll be in good shape. And then this is how much I'm using. I use quite a bit, like I said. So bear in mind, you know, this is going to be pretty strong tea because it's got quite a bit of stuff in it by the end. Got most of my peel off now. And just like the turmeric, this is going to grate up pretty easily. So we're going to do that. Now ginger root has some fibers in it, so it's not quite as smooth as the turmeric, just because those fibers get in the way and kind of gum up the teeth on the grater sometimes. But it's still not bad. You'll be done momentarily. My ginger is grated, and I just pulled all that out from inside the grater. I'm going to dump it just straight into the fine mesh sieve there. And the rest of it. And then, yeah, the next step is the garlic. So,
can I peel it?
Do you think so?
I think I can.
Okay, can you get me like 3 cloves out of that? The cloves are the individual pieces that are in there.
Okay.
Okay, put this stuff over here because it's compost.
Okay.
All right, while Clara's peeling the garlic, I'm gonna grate up some more lemon. The other reason to take a break when you're grating lemon is because it is cold, because it's been in the freezer. So you give your fingers a break.
I've got you, I think, 1 piece of garlic.
Yep, good. So here's our first clove of garlic.
Here's another.
All right, second clove, good.
Garlic come out so smoothly, see?
Yeah. Some of that paper stuff in between them.
Yeah. Good juice. And our third one.
Okay, perfect. Put it with the other two. I'm gonna finish up with the lemon real quick. Okay, now when you get down to the last little bit of lemon, it gets to be kind of a pain to finish grating. So once I have grated it pretty much as I can, I just take that and I throw it straight into the sieve because, again, it's tea. Okay. Oh, and the other thing to mention too is when you're grating up the lemon, you're also grating up the lemon seeds. That's fine. Let's put this in here. So 1 whole lemon and 2 pieces of turmeric root.
And a little ginger.
Yeah, I usually go with like 1.5 to 2 inches of ginger. Ginger is often measured in inches.
It all adds up to...
Well, we're not done yet, but we've got a fair amount of stuff in there.
That's what it adds up when that stuff is.
See? Yeah. Okay, garlic.
Garlic.
Okay, I'm gonna rinse my hands real quick.
And chop it.
And grate it. You could mince the garlic, but I actually find the grater is the better. So I've got the flat side of the knife. Be very careful to keep your hand away from the cutting edge and just push. And when you push, not only do you release the skin off the garlic, but you also release the oil from inside the garlic. So it's a good first step no matter what you're doing or how you're gonna prepare the garlic to maximize the flavor. Now this one is sprouting. That's okay. Don't worry about it. There's our second one. Makes it super easy.
You're going so fast.
Yeah, well, I've done this before.
And I got it zoomed in so they can see better.
Okay, so this one has a little bit that's kind of turning south. So I'm just gonna kind of cut that bit out.
Some people don't know what south is, so Mom's probably gonna tell you because I don't know it either.
Oh, thank you for asking. So going south is my way of saying it's starting to go a little bit bad.
Yeah, rotten.
Yeah. Okay, but not bad enough to worry about. It's not molding or anything like that.
That's
Okay,
right.
so here we go on the grater. Trying very hard
Not to cut yourself.
not to cut yourself. That's right. Now garlic does have natural antibiotic properties. Oh, you can see I failed at not cutting myself. I should probably take care of the Band-Aid on my hand. We're going back to grating the garlic. Again, if you're left with some big chunks at the end that are just kind of too much of a pain to grate down further, you can just throw them in. So what I always add is a couple of shakes of red cayenne pepper. You don't want to go too crazy, of course, because it is cayenne, but you can see a dusting, if you will, of that. And pour it in. And I want to make sure that the tea stuff is all covered. That should be about right. Might as well put the rest of it in. And then what I have over here is actually honey. But if you put boiling water on honey, it actually breaks down a lot of the beneficial enzymes and whatnot. So I let the tea steep for a little bit so that that water can cool, and then I mix the honey in after that. Okay, so now it's cooled down a little bit. You can see it's still steaming, but it's just fine. And what I'm gonna do is add our honey. And I'm pretty heavy-handed with the honey. It's really more about the taste of it than anything else in my view. Although honey is really great, especially if you can get local honey and you suspect that allergies are a problem for you or your household. honey is pretty great.
Or your kid.
But it also helps with the taste, and then you can add less ginger ale, which I'm a fan of. Clara, maybe not so much. Okay, so I'm mixing it around there because I want that honey to get mixed in with all the rest of the goodness there. And then I'm gonna let it steep a little while longer, and then we're gonna be ready to go. All right, so here's our tea. It's still a little hot. And the nice thing about using this strainer is you can just lift it straight out of the bowl. You can either put this stuff straight into the compost or the garbage, whatever you do, or you can actually save it and do a couple different things with it. Number one, you can use it for a second batch of tea, although it won't be as potent as this first batch. But you can also smush it into ice cube trays and freeze it and make like that infused water stuff with it. Just kind of depends on whether that is to your liking or not. So I put a couple ice cubes in there because the tea's still pretty warm. And because I only have one hand, I'm gonna put that down in the sink just in case. Okay. And I've left a little bit of space because Clara has been waiting for this moment. I'm going to top it off with that ginger ale. So I'm not going to put a whole bunch in there, but it is going to be enough to just kind of fizz it up. And then she should be able to down it. What do you think?
Good.
All right, and there you have it. Our quart of fire cider to put in the fridge and drink over the next couple of days. So all the ingredients that I put in here have health benefits, but they're also certainly not going to hurt you. At the very least, fresh herbs have lots of vitamins and minerals, and I actually quite enjoy the taste. Adding that ginger ale is kind of a nice touch. It makes it more of a like sparkling water experience than a tea experience. All right, well, let me know in the comments if you try this recipe and what you think. Does it work? Does it just make you feel better because you took a step? What do you think of the taste? And so on and so forth. Have a good day.